Before we dive in, please remember this presentation is for educational and entertainment purposes only. The analysis of advertising and marketing strategies contained in this video does not constitute professional business or financial advice. You are going to see over 5,000 ads today. 5,000. By the time you finish your morning coffee, you'll have been exposed to hundreds. On your phone, on your commute, on the gas station pump, on the back of a cereal box. It's a constant, relentless fire hose of information sprayed directly into your brain. And here's the terrifying part. Your brain, as a survival mechanism, has learned to ignore almost all of it. 99.9% of those 5,000 messages will slide right off you, leaving no trace. They are expensive, invisible ghosts. But what about the tiny fraction that gets through? What about the jingle you find yourself humming in the shower for a product you don't even use? What about the talking gecko that has somehow become a trusted financial advisor to millions of Americans? What about the 60-second story about a puppy and a horse that made an entire country cry, and then buy a specific brand of beer? That's not luck. That is not random. That is a science. It's a calculated, weaponized form of psychology designed to bypass your rational mind and plug directly into your emotions, your fears, and your deepest desires. And for the next 10 episodes, I'm going to hand you the blueprint. We are going to dissect the most powerful American commercials, frame by frame, and reveal the hidden architecture of persuasion that makes them work. By the end of this series, you won't just be a passive consumer of media anymore. You will see the matrix. You'll be able to spot the formulas, identify the psychological triggers, and understand why you suddenly feel an urge to buy a certain type of truck or switch to a different cell phone provider. This knowledge will make you a smarter consumer, a more critical thinker, and if you're a creator, entrepreneur, or marketer, it will give you a masterclass in communication that you can apply to everything you do. We're going to decode the art of the sale, and we're starting with its most difficult, most distilled, and most powerful form, the 15-second commercial. Why 15 seconds? Because in today's world of fractured attention spans, 15 seconds is an eternity. It's a battlefield where billions of dollars are won or lost. There is no room for error. Every word, every sound, every frame has to be perfect. It's the ultimate test of a brand's ability to tell a story and make you feel something instantly. To understand this, let's start with one of the most successful advertising campaigns in modern history. A campaign that took a product so boring, so painfully dull that nobody ever wants to talk about it, and turned it into a cultural phenomenon. I'm talking about car insurance, specifically Geico. Think about the raw challenge here. The product is a legal necessity that you hope you never have to use. It's a complex contract filled with deductibles and liability limits. It's a grudge purchase. You pay for it every month, and what do you get? Piece of paper. Promise. So how do you sell that? How do you make your boring promise more appealing than your competitor's boring promise? For decades, insurance companies tried the same two things: fear or price. They'd show you a horrific car crash and say, "You need us or you'll lose everything." Or they'd just shout about being the cheapest. It was a race to the bottom, and nobody was building a brand. Then, Geico and their ad agency, the Martin Agency, had a revolutionary idea. What if we stop selling insurance? What if instead we sell a single, simple, unforgettable idea and wrap it in a package of pure entertainment? That one core idea became their mantra, their North Star. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Let's break down why that sentence is a work of pure genius. First, it identifies a universal human desire: saving money. It's not about policies or coverage. It's about putting cash back in your pocket. Second, it quantifies the benefit: 15% or more. It gives your brain a concrete number to latch onto. It feels real, not like some vague promise of great savings. Third, and this is the most important part, it quantifies the effort required: 15 minutes. It frames the task as ridiculously easy. You can do it on your lunch break. You can do it while waiting for your coffee. It removes the friction and the feeling of dread associated with shopping for insurance. The entire value proposition is right there in one elegant, symmetrical, and incredibly sticky sentence. But a great tagline isn't enough. You can have the best message in the world, but if it's delivered in a boring way, it's still invisible. This is where Geico created their Trojan horse. They knew you didn't want to watch a commercial about insurance, so they didn't make one. They made a tiny 15-second sitcom. They created characters: a sophisticated British gecko, a group of easily offended cavemen, a camel who really loves Wednesdays, What do any of these things have to do with car insurance? Absolutely nothing. And that is the point. The gecko, the caveman, the camel, they are the sugar that makes the medicine go down. Their job is to get your attention, to make you smile, to make you feel a flicker of positive emotion. They are the Trojan horse that carries the core message. 15 minutes could save you 15%. Past your brain's defensive walls and plants it deep inside your memory. The structure of a classic Geico ad is a masterclass in efficiency. It follows a 3-act structure in just 15 seconds. Act 1, the setup. We see a normal, relatable situation. Two people are in an office, a couple is in their kitchen. Act 2, the twist. The gecko walks in, or someone says something that offends the nearby caveman. The humor, the surprise, the thing that makes you go, "Wait, what?" happens here. This is the hook that guarantees you'll watch the last 5 seconds. And Act 3, the payoff. The character delivers the core message, the brand name is shown, and it's over. This formula is so effective because it respects your intelligence and your time. It doesn't beat you over the head with product features. It gives you a tiny piece of entertainment, a little dopamine hit, in exchange for 15 seconds of your attention. And in that exchange, it flawlessly communicates its one single-minded point. Over time, through sheer repetition, this strategy works on a subconscious level. When you think save money on car insurance, your brain doesn't pull up a spreadsheet of premium comparisons. It pulls up a friendly talking lizard. Geico didn't just sell a product. They colonized a corner of your mind. They built a powerful brand association between humor, simplicity, and saving money. And this model, this fundamental structure of problem, simple solution, and memorable wrapper, is the secret blueprint behind countless successful American ad campaigns. Think about it. The problem? Your clothes are dirty. The solution? Tide. The wrapper? Hilarious, relatable stain scenarios in Tide to Go pen ads. Or the recent incredibly clever, It's a Tide at Super Bowl campaign. The problem? You're hungry. The solution? Snickers. The wrapper? You're not you when you're hungry. Featuring famous celebrities transforming into divas. The problem? You need a reliable computer. The solution? Apple. The wrapper? The legendary Get a Mac campaign, personifying the cool, creative Mac versus the stuffy, virus-prone PC. Each of these campaigns takes a complex or mundane product and boils it down to a single emotional idea, delivered through a story or a character that you remember long after you've forgotten the specific details. This is the magic trick. They aren't selling you a thing. They are selling you a feeling. Geico sells you cleverness and ease. Tide sells you competence and readiness. Snickers sells you satisfaction and relief. Apple sells you creativity and identity. Over the course of this series, we're going to go so much deeper. We're going to analyze the psychological power of sonic logos, those little jingles like Intel's chimes or McDonald's, "I'm loving it," that get stuck in your head. We'll break down the specific color palettes that brands use to make you feel hungry, or safe, or luxurious. We'll look at the neuroscience of storytelling and why a narrative structure can literally synchronize the brainwaves of an audience. We'll explore the art of the celebrity endorsement and why seeing George Clooney with a coffee maker makes it seem so much more desirable. We will dissect the anatomy of a perfect movie trailer and the editing techniques they use to manufacture excitement and urgency. This isn't just trivia. This is the language of influence in the 21st century. Understanding this language isn't just about being a smarter shopper. It's about understanding the world around you. It's about recognizing how stories are framed to persuade you. Whether it's by a corporation selling you a soda, a news channel selling you a perspective, or a politician selling you a vision for the country. Once you learn to see the framework, you can never unsee it. You gain a kind of immunity to hollow persuasion and a deep appreciation for genuine, powerful communication. You are about to learn the art of the invisible sell. To understand it, we must first go back to the most fundamental unit of human decision-making: emotion. We think we are rational creatures driven by logic and data. We believe we buy a certain car because of its miles per gallon, a certain soda because of its taste, or a certain phone because of its processing power. But that's the story we tell ourselves after the decision has already been made. The decision itself, the initial spark, is almost always emotional. The invisible sell isn't about hiding the fact that you're being sold something. It's about bypassing the logical, skeptical part of your brain and speaking directly to the emotional, instinctive part. It's about making you feel the solution before you've even had a chance to analyze the problem. And in the brutal blink and you'll miss it world of a 15-second ad, there is no time for anything else. There are two foundational frameworks that nearly every successful short-form ad is built upon. The first and most powerful is a classic copywriting formula known as problem, agitate, solve. Yes, let's break it down. First, you present a problem. Not just any problem, but a problem the viewer instantly recognizes. It has to be visceral, relatable, and immediate. Think of the last time your phone died right when you needed it. That's the problem. The ad doesn't need to explain it. It just needs to show it. A screen fading to black. The panicked look on someone's face as they realize they're lost, and their GPS is gone. That's the P. But just stating the problem isn't enough. Our brains are designed to dismiss problems we don't have to deal with right now. That's where the comes in, agitate. This is the crucial step where the artist twists the knife. The ad doesn't just show a dead phone. It shows the consequences. It shows the missed call from a loved one. It shows the person stranded on a dark road. It shows the perfect photo opportunity slipping away forever. The agitation phase is designed to pour salt in the wound. It takes the intellectual understanding of a problem and turns it into a gut punch of anxiety, frustration, or fear. It makes the viewer think, "Oh, I've been there. That feeling is the worst." And then, just as that manufactured anxiety peaks, the ad delivers the final step. S. Solve. A sleek power bank is plugged in. The screen flickers back to life. A sigh of relief. The solution is presented not as a piece of technology, but as the antidote to the emotional pain you just felt. It's not a portable battery. It's security. It's connection. It's peace of mind. Problem: my phone is dead. Agitate: I'm lost and vulnerable. Solve: I am safe and in control. In 15 seconds, you've been taken on a complete emotional roller coaster, and the product is the hero of the story. You've seen this 1,000 times. Remember the classic Life Alert commercials? "I've fallen and I can't get up." That is one of the most brutally effective examples of problem, agitate, solve in advertising history. The problem: an elderly person has fallen. It's simple and terrifying. The agitation: the shaky camera, the palpable fear in the actor's voice, the profound sense of isolation and helplessness. They don't just show a fall. They make you feel the terror of being alone and unable to reach help. The entire commercial is designed to maximize that feeling of dread. And the solve? It's a button. A single simple push. A calm, reassuring voice comes through the speaker. Help is on the way. The product isn't the plastic pendant. The product is the elimination of that terror. It's the promise of rescue. They sold an emotion relief, and the device was just the delivery mechanism. The second foundational framework is the close cousin of PS. It's called the before-after bridge. This is for products that don't solve a painful problem, but rather fulfill a desire. It's the structure of choice for everything from cleaning supplies to luxury cars to fitness programs. The formula is just as simple. First, you show the before state. This is the world as it is now for the viewer, but slightly worse. It's the stained carpet, the messy kitchen, the out-of-shape body, the boring, mundane life. It's a state of dissatisfaction. The key is to make it relatable, not catastrophic. It's not a crisis, it's just Then you show the after state. This is the world the viewer wants to live in. The carpet is pristine. The kitchen is sparkling clean, ready for a magazine cover. The body is fit and energetic. The life is exciting and full of adventure. This after state isn't just a physical change. It's an emotional one. The clean kitchen represents a mind at ease. The fit body represents confidence and vitality. The ad creates a powerful sense of longing for this idealized future. Finally, and most importantly, the ad reveals the bridge. The product is the magical bridge that takes you, effortlessly, from the undesirable before to the coveted after. A single swipe of a magic eraser, and the scuff mark is gone. One sip of a Diet Coke, and the afternoon slump is replaced with a burst of glamour. The product is positioned as the shortcut to the desired state. It's the transformation bottled and sold. Think of any weight loss ad. Before is the grainy photo of an unhappy, overweight person. After is the vibrant, smiling, confident person they've become. The bridge? It's the shake, the pill, or the exercise machine. The ad isn't selling a product. It's selling a new identity. It's selling you a better version of yourself. The same is true for a car commercial that shows a driver stuck in dreary city traffic, the before, and then suddenly cruising along a beautiful, open coastal highway, the after. The car is the bridge. It's not selling steel and leather, it's selling freedom. Both of these frameworks, Problem Agitate Solve and Before After Bridge, are designed to do the same thing. They create an emotional gap in the viewer's mind, a gap between pain and relief, or between dissatisfaction and desire. Once that gap is created, the human brain desperately wants to close it. The product is then presented as the fastest, easiest way to close that gap. These characters, these mascots, these miniature mythologies, they are the most powerful weapons in the 15-second war for your attention. They are the Trojan horses that carry a brand's message past the cynical walls of your brain and directly into your cultural memory. Think about it. We don't just remember Mr. Clean. We understand him. He represents an impossible ideal of cleanliness, a benevolent power that brings order to chaos with a simple wipe. We don't just know the Geico Gecko, we trust him. He's the charming, level-headed friend who demystifies the confusing world of insurance. These aren't just salespeople in costumes. They are modern-day archetypes. Archetypes are universal patterns of behavior, primordial images that have existed in the collective human psyche since the dawn of storytelling. The hero, the sage, the trickster, the caregiver. We instinctively recognize them because we've seen them in every myth, every fairy tale, every blockbuster movie. And advertisers know this. They tap into this ancient, shared language to create an instant connection, a cognitive shortcut that bypasses logic and speaks directly to our gut. Mr. Clean is a fusion of the hero and the caregiver. He arrives, vanquishes the villain Grime, and restores peace and order to the home, the kingdom. The Geico Gecko is the sage, the wise guide who offers knowledge and a clear path forward through a complicated journey. And then you have the trickster, the agent of chaos, the character who exists purely to remind you how bad things can get. And perhaps no brand has weaponized the trickster archetype more effectively than Allstate with their master of disaster, Mayhem. Played with a kind of destructive glee by actor Dean Winters, Mayhem isn't selling you a solution. He is the problem. He's the faulty GPS that tells you to drive into a lake. He's the emotionally compromised teenage girl driving her pink SUV. He's the blind spot in your mirror. He embodies every random, catastrophic event that could ruin your day, your car, your life. And it is absolutely brilliant. Why? Because it taps into one of the most powerful psychological drivers we have, loss aversion. The theory of loss aversion, pioneered by psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, demonstrates that for most people, the pain of losing something is twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining something of equal value. We are fundamentally wired to avoid disaster. Traditional insurance ads try to appeal to our desire for gain security, gain peace of mind. Allstate with Mayhem flips the script entirely. They don't show you the sunny day you'll have with their insurance. They show you the visceral, hilarious, and terrifyingly plausible disaster you could have without it. Mayhem makes the abstract concept of risk feel real. He gives it a face, a smirk, and a great one-liner right before the crash. He isn't just an ad character. He is the physical manifestation of anxiety, and Allstate is positioned as the only thing that can protect you from him. It's a masterclass in creating a villain so compelling, you can't help but buy protection from the hero who created him. But you can't have a world of only villains. For every trickster, you need an everyman. And in the insurance world, Mayhem's perfect opposite isn't a superhero in a cape. It's a guy in a red polo shirt and khakis. It's Jake from State Farm. The genius of Jake is his profound, almost aggressive normalness. He isn't a gecko with an accent or a god of chaos. He's just a guy. A nice guy. The original Jake from State Farm ad from 2011 was a viral sensation because of its simplicity and relatability. A husband is on the phone late at night, and his suspicious wife grabs the phone only to hear a man on the other end say, "Jake from State Farm." The punchline? He's wearing khakis. It was a simple, funny scenario that humanized a massive, faceless corporation. The original Jake was an actual State Farm employee, which added a layer of authenticity. But myths have to evolve. In 2020, State Farm rebooted the character, casting professional actor Kevin Miles. This was a critical decision. They weren't just remaking a commercial. They were consciously elevating Jake from a one-hit wonder into a cornerstone of their brand mythology. The new Jake is more polished, more charismatic, but he retains the core of the everyman archetype. He's the ultimate good neighbor. He shows up at the exact moment you need him, whether you're a Super Bowl champion like Patrick Mahomes or just a regular person who's dropped their new grill. Where Mayhem represents the unpredictable external threat, Jake represents internal reassurance. He doesn't fix the problem with magic. He fixes it with competence and a calm demeanor. He is the platonic ideal of customer service. He's not trying to sell you. He's trying to help you. The campaign creates a universe where State Farm isn't just a company you call. It's a person who shows up. This shift from a faceless corporation to a friendly, reliable face is the holy grail of branding. People don't trust corporations. People trust people. And millions of Americans feel like they know Jake. This is the power of creating a brand universe. When you see Mayhem's black suit and beat-up face, you are instantly in the Allstate universe, a world of dark humor and unpredictable risk. When you see the red polo and khakis, you are in the State Farm universe, a world of neighborly reassurance and dependability. These characters are more than mascots. They are avatars for the entire brand's ethos. They do the heavy lifting in those first 2 seconds of a commercial. Before a single word about deductibles or coverage is uttered, you already know the story that's being told. You know the emotional territory you're in. This is why these characters endure. A commercial about a low rate is forgotten the moment it's over. A commercial about a specific policy feature is obsolete in a year. But a character? A well-crafted myth? That can last for generations. The Jolly Green Giant, the Energizer Bunny, the Aflac Duck. These aren't just ads. They are pieces of our shared cultural furniture. We've invited them into our homes for decades. They've become so ingrained in our consciousness that they've transcended their original purpose. They no longer just sell a product, they represent an idea. Green Giant is freshness. Energizer is endurance. Aflac is well Aflac. Creating this mythology is an incredible investment. It requires consistency, creativity, and a deep understanding of human psychology. But the payoff is immense. You create a permanent mental shortcut in the consumer's mind. When they think insurance, they don't just see a list of companies. They see a cosmic battle playing out between a charming gecko, a chaotic trickster, and a really good neighbor. The brand is no longer just a service provider. It's a character in the story of our lives. But these characters don't exist in a silent film. Their mythology is built not just on what we see, but on what we hear. They have a voice, a catchphrase, and most importantly, a sound that gets stuck in your head for decades. And that sonic branding, that weaponized earworm that can conjure an entire brand with just a few notes, is an art form all its own. Take the most famous one of all. 5 simple notes. Bada baby ba. What did you just think of? Golden arches? A Big Mac? That simple, almost childish melody launched in 2003 isn't just a jingle. It's a global phenomenon. It's a perfect example of what psychologists call an earworm, or more formally, involuntary musical imagery. Our brains are wired to recognize and complete patterns, and a simple, catchy, repetitive melody is like a piece of code that our brain can't help but run on a loop. It's not a flaw in our system, it's a feature that advertisers have learned to exploit with surgical precision. This isn't just about making a little song. It's about forging a direct, nonverbal, emotional connection between a sound and a product. It's about bypassing the logical part of your brain that might question the nutritional value of your lunch and speaking directly to the part that remembers feeling happy. Let's go back to the 90s. The personal computer revolution is in full swing. But there's a problem. Most people don't know what's inside their computer. They know the brand of the box, Dell Compact Gateway, but the engine, the microprocessor, is an anonymous chip buried deep within. Intel had to solve an impossible marketing problem. How do you brand an ingredient? How do you make people care about a tiny square of silicon they will never, ever see? Their answer was a multi-billion-dollar campaign called Intel Inside. And the spearhead of that campaign wasn't a slogan. It was a sound, a 5-note mnemonic, technically a bong, composed by Austrian musician Walter Werzowa. The notes are D-flat, G-flat, D-flat, A-flat, D-flat. But to us, it's the sound of reliability, of progress, of a powerful computer waking up. Werzowa was reportedly told to create a sound that conveyed innovative, reliable, and trustworthy. He combined elements of a xylophone, a marimba, and bells to create something that felt both synthetic and organic, futuristic and familiar. For over a decade, that sound was everywhere. At the end of every commercial for a computer powered by their chip, you'd hear it. Bing, 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 bing. It became one of the most recognizable audio logos in the world. It didn't sell you a product directly. It sold you confidence. When you heard that sound, you were subconsciously reassured that the invisible, complicated part of your expensive new machine was the right one. Intel successfully branded the unseen. They made you care about the engine, not just the car. That 5-note sequence is estimated to be played somewhere in the world once every 5 minutes. It's a masterclass in turning an abstract concept, processing power, into a feeling of trust, all with a sound that lasts less than 3 seconds. But what if you want to sell more than just trust? What if you want to sell a lifestyle and attitude? You need more than a bong, you need a hook. Enter McDonald's. I'm loving it. In the early 2000s, McDonald's was in a slump. Their image was seen as stale, kid-focused, and increasingly unhealthy. They needed a complete overhaul, a way to connect with a younger, more cynical audience. So they didn't go to an ad agency's jingle department. They went to the music industry. They commissioned a full-length pop song from Pharrell Williams and the Neptunes, some of the hottest producers on the planet at the time, and they got a rising superstar named Justin Timberlake to sing it. The song, I'm Lovin' It, was released as a real single in Europe before it was ever revealed to be part of a McDonald's campaign. People were hearing it on the radio, seeing the music video, and adding it to their playlist. Then the reveal. It wasn't just a song. It was the new global voice of the biggest fast food chain on earth. The strategy was genius. They didn't create an ad and hope it became popular. They created something popular and then turned it into an ad. The bida-bida-bida hook was the most infectious part of the song. A vocal riff that could be sung by anyone in any language. It was a universal sound of satisfaction. And by associating their brand with the cutting edge of pop culture, McDonald's instantly shed its old-fashioned image. They weren't just selling burgers anymore. They were selling a feeling, a moment of joy, a small, affordable rebellion. It was the first time McDonald's had ever used a single, unified global campaign. And that sonic hook was the glue that held it all together, from Boston to Beijing. Now, sonic branding isn't always about being beloved. Sometimes it's about being unforgettable, even at the cost of being, well, a little annoying. Let's talk about insurance. It's a grudge purchase. Nobody wakes up excited to buy a new car insurance policy. It's a commodity and the competition is fierce. So how do you stand out? Liberty Mutual Insurance decided to take a different path. Instead of a single polished jingle, they created a sonic ecosystem built around a simple, repetitive melody and phrase. Liberty, liberty, liability. Liberty. You're probably groaning right now. You've heard it 1,000 times in a dozen different variations, from a struggling actor in front of the Statue of Liberty to a man marveling at a new car. And that's the point. The jingle is designed to be almost gratingly simple. It's not trying to win a Grammy. It's trying to win a war for your brain space. In advertising, there's a concept called effective frequency. The number of times a person needs to be exposed to a message before it's stored in their long-term memory. Liberty Mutual's strategy is a brute force attack on that principle. By making the jingle so simple and so ubiquitous, they are betting that when you finally need to buy insurance, their name will be the first one that pops into your head, whether you like the jingle or not. It's a controversial approach. Many people find the ads irritating, but it works. The sheer recall they've achieved is undeniable. They've weaponized the earworm not for affection, but for pure, unadulterated memory retention. It's a testament to the fact that in the 15-second world, being remembered is more important than being liked. Annoyance, it turns out, is a powerful mnemonic device. From the futuristic promise of the Intel bong to the pop culture cool of McDonald's, and the relentless repetition of Liberty Mutual, sonic branding is the invisible architecture of the commercial. It's the ghost in the machine, manipulating our moods and memories without us even realizing it. These sounds are not background noise. They are carefully crafted psychological tools designed to build brand equity, trigger emotion, and ultimately drive you to purchase. They are the shortest stories in advertising, telling you everything you need to feel in just a few notes. But a sound, no matter how powerful, often needs a partner. A perfect phrase that crystallizes the entire brand promise into just a few words. And the battle for the most iconic slogan, the quest for that perfect verbal hook that can define a generation and sell billions, is a story of pure linguistic genius and brutal corporate warfare. Take, for instance, the 3 most powerful words in advertising history. Not "I love you," but "just do it." It feels eternal, like it was carved into the foundation of Nike's headquarters from day one. But the story of its creation is a masterclass in turning desperation into global domination. In 1987, Nike was in a dogfight with Reebok. They were losing market share, their brand image was diffuse, and they were in the middle of a brutal layoff. They needed a unifying message, a war cry. Their ad agency, Whedon plus Kennedy, was struggling. Dan Whedon, the co-founder, was staring at a deadline. looking for a line that could speak to everyone from elite marathon runners to morning walkers. And then he remembered a story. The story of Gary Gilmore, a convicted killer in Utah facing a firing squad in 1977. When asked for his last words, Gilmore simply said, "Let's do it." Whedon, struck by the stark, unblinking finality of the phrase, tweaked it. He changed "let's" to "just." A subtle shift, but it changed everything. It transformed a statement of grim resolution into a command of personal empowerment. Just Do It wasn't about selling a shoe. It was about selling an attitude. It was a dare. It was permission. It gave people permission to push past their excuses, their fears, their inertia. It didn't say, "Just buy it." It said, "Just be it." And in doing so, it became the internal monologue for millions of people standing at the edge of a challenge. That is the pinnacle of the slogансmith's art. To craft a phrase that transcends commerce and becomes a piece of cultural software. So what is the secret code? What are the linguistic mechanics that make a slogan like, "Just do it" burrow into our collective psyche, while millions of others vanish into thin air? The first principle is brutal simplicity. The human brain is lazy. It's designed to conserve energy, and it loves shortcuts. A short, rhythmic phrase is easier to process, remember, and repeat. Think about it. Got milk? 2 words. Think different. 2 words. I'm loving it. 3 words. These aren't just short. They're percussive. They have a beat. They're mental earworms before you even add music. The second principle is aspiration. Great slogans don't sell what a product is. They sell what you can become by using it. The U.S. Army's "Be All You Can Be" is a legendary example. It's not about the drills, the deployments, or the hierarchy. It's about self-actualization. It's about unlocking your ultimate potential. It taps into a fundamental human desire to be more than we are. L'Oreal's "Because You're Worth It" does the same thing. It's not selling shampoo, it's selling self-esteem. It reframes a purchase not as an indulgence, but as an act of self-respect. These slogans work because they speak to the hero in our own personal story. But perhaps the most powerful, and sometimes most manipulative, use of a slogan is not just to sell a product, but to invent a tradition. To create a cultural necessity where none existed before. And for that, we have to talk about diamonds. Before the 1940s, diamond engagement rings were not the standard in the United States. In fact, for many, they were an occasional luxury, not a mandatory symbol of commitment. The diamond market was in trouble, especially after the Great Depression. The mining conglomerate De Beers needed to change not just buying habits, but the very idea of love and marriage itself. In 1947, a young copywriter at the N.W. Air agency named Frances Gerety was tasked with coming up with a signature line. Exhausted after a long night of work, she scrawled a phrase on a piece of paper before going to bed. The next morning, she looked at what she'd written. "A diamond is forever." Her colleagues were initially unimpressed. It wasn't grammatically perfect, felt a bit lofty, but it stuck. And when De Beers put it at the bottom of every single one of their ads, something incredible happened. Those 4 words performed an act of cultural alchemy. They linked a shiny, compressed piece of carbon to the most powerful and eternal human concept: everlasting love. A diamond wasn't just a rock anymore. It was a promise. It was permanence in a fleeting world. The slogan suggested that, like a diamond, your love would be unbreakable, timeless, and eternal. It created a psychological anchor. How could you symbolize your forever love with anything less than a forever stone? Sales skyrocketed. Within a few decades, a diamond engagement ring went from a relative rarity to an absolute cultural imperative. An entire social ritual, billions of dollars of industry, all built on the back of 4 perfectly chosen words. It is arguably the most successful advertising slogan of the 20th century, because it didn't just sell a product, it sold a new piece of the American dream. This power, the power to redefine reality with a phrase, inevitably turns the marketplace into a battlefield. Slogans become weapons, sharpened and aimed directly at the heart of a competitor. And no one understood this better than Avis, the car rental company. For years, Avis was stuck in a distant, perpetual second place behind the undisputed king, Hertz. They tried everything, but they couldn't break Hertz's dominance. In 1962, they took a radical new approach. Instead of hiding their second-place status, they decided to weaponize it. Their new slogan was a work of strategic genius. When you're only number 2, you try harder. It was brilliant. In just 7 words, they accomplished 3 things. First, they acknowledged their underdog status. making them relatable and sympathetic. Everyone loves to root for the little guy. Second, it was a direct, devastating attack on Hertz. The slogan's unspoken implication was that Hertz, being number one, was complacent. They were fat and happy. They didn't have to try hard. Their lines were longer, their cars weren't as clean. Suddenly, Hertz's greatest strength, their size and market leadership, was reframed as their greatest weakness. Third, it made a concrete promise to the customer. Promised better service. Promised a cleaner car. It promised a shorter wait. It turned their market position into a tangible benefit. The campaign was a massive success. For the first time in over a decade, Avis started making a profit. They didn't just sell car rentals, they sold the virtue of being the underdog, and in doing so, they rewrote the rules of competitive advertising. From the personal dare of just do it, to the cultural programming of a diamond is forever, to the strategic strike of we try harder. The slogan is the sharpest tool in the advertiser's arsenal. It's a compressed piece of code designed to hack our motivations, our memories, and our desires. But words, however powerful, are only one part of the equation. What happens when you fuse this linguistic weapon with the most primal, most emotionally potent force known to the human brain? What happens when you wrap a slogan in a melody? That's when the art of persuasion becomes something else entirely. That's when you get a hook so deep it can last a lifetime. That's when the jingle is born. And it's a weapon that advertisers have been perfecting for nearly a century. The jingle isn't just a catchy tune. It's a form of cognitive infiltration. It's a Trojan horse smuggling a brand message past the cynical guards of your conscious mind and planting it deep within your subconscious, where it can live, rent-free for decades. Think about it. Why can you remember the phone number for Empire today? A carpet company you've never used, but you can't remember your own childhood phone number. Why does the phrase, "I'm loving it," automatically trigger a 5-note melody in your head? It's because music is processed differently than speech. When you hear spoken words, your brain analyzes them for meaning. But when you hear music, especially a simple repetitive melody, it lights up the auditory cortex and the limbic system, the parts of your brain associated with memory and emotion. The melody acts like a piece of Velcro, and the brand name is the fuzz that sticks to it. It creates what neuroscientists call an earworm, an involuntary musical image that gets stuck in a feedback loop. Your brain just keeps singing it to itself, over and over, reinforcing the brand message with every repetition. It's brute force memorization, disguised as entertainment. The golden age of this technique was the mid-20th century. Radio was king, and a good jingle could make a product famous overnight. Then came television, and the jingle found its ultimate stage. And perhaps no jingle illustrates this power better than one about a certain processed meat product. In 1962, the Oscar Mayer Company released a jingle that would become a piece of American folklore. Oh, I wish I were an Oscar Mayer wiener. Let's break down the genius of this. First, the perspective. It's not a command from the company. You should buy our wieners. It's a wish, an aspiration, sung from the point of view of a child. Oh, I wish I were. It immediately taps into a sense of childlike innocence and desire. It's not about eating a hot dog. It's about becoming one. It's whimsical and slightly absurd, which makes it memorable. Second, the lyrics create a powerful brand identity. 'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer wiener, everyone would be in love with me. This is a masterstroke. The jingle isn't selling you processed meat, selling you love. It's selling you popularity and acceptance. It's associating the product with the most fundamental human desires. And finally, the execution. They put it on TV, often sung by adorable children, with the lyrics bouncing along on screen. It was an irresistible multisensory earworm that burrowed its way into the American psyche. People who haven't eaten a hot dog in 30 years can still sing that song word for word. That's not advertising, that's cultural programming. But jingles don't have to be complex to be effective. In fact, sometimes the simpler the better. Case in point, Meow Mix. The jingle, which debuted in the 1970s, is, from a lyrical standpoint, absolute nonsense. It consists of one word, meow, repeated over and over again to a simple bouncy tune. A cat sings meow 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 on screen with subtitles translating its lyrics to, "I want seafood, I want chicken, I want liver." The brilliance is in its audacity. It completely bypasses the human consumer's logical brain. It doesn't tell you about nutritional value, or premium ingredients, or how it will make your cat's coat shiny. It doesn't speak to you at all. It speaks directly to the idea of the cat. The message is primal. This food is so good, your cat will literally sing for it. It creates a simple, powerful equation in the pet owner's mind. Cat singing equals cat desire. The jingle is funny, it's bizarre, and it is impossible to forget. By using the language of the end user, the cat, it creates an emotional shortcut. You see the ad, you laugh, you remember the tune, and the next time you're in the pet food aisle, a tiny subconscious voice in your head starts meowing. You don't think about the marketing strategy. You just think, my cat would like that. It's a perfect example of how a jingle can sell a feeling, an idea, rather than just a product. Now you might be thinking, okay, but those are old. Nobody makes jingles like that anymore. And you're partially right. The long sing-songy jingle has largely fallen out of fashion. Audiences became more cynical, and the earnestness of "I wish I were a wiener" started to feel cheesy. Brands pivoted to licensing popular songs to seem cool and relevant. But the jingle didn't die. It evolved. It became leaner, faster, and more efficient. It became the Sonic logo. And the undisputed modern champion of the Sonic logo is Nationwide Insurance. You know it. I know it. Everyone knows it. 7 simple notes. Nationwide is on your side. It's not a song, it's a fragment. It's a musical signature. And its power lies in its versatility and its psychological grip. The melody itself is simple, based on a descending scale that sounds reassuring and stable. The lyrics contain a powerful promise. On your side. It's a statement of alliance and trust, exactly what you want from an insurance company. But the real genius is how they deployed it. It's not just at the end of the ad. It became the ad itself. They had Peyton Manning, one of the most trusted figures in sports, humming it to the tune of the chicken parm sandwich he loves. They had country star Brad Paisley seamlessly weave it into his songs. They turned it into a meme, a piece of malleable pop culture. They taught the entire country a 7-note pattern. Our brains are pattern completion machines. Once a pattern is established, the brain works to complete it automatically. When you hear Nationwide is on, your brain doesn't wait. It fires off the rest of the melody and the slogan before you're even consciously aware of it. It's a Pavlovian response for insurance. They've installed a tiny free Nationwide ad that runs in your head every time you hear those first few notes. It's the ultimate evolution of the earworm. A jingle so efficient it's been stripped down to its bare, unforgettable essence. It's a brand, a promise, and a melody, all delivered in less than 3 seconds. Whether it's a full-blown song about a hot dog, a cat singing for its dinner, or a 7-note sonic trigger, the principle is the same. Jingles exploit the fundamental wiring of the human brain. They use the sticky, emotional power of music to bypass our rational defenses. They turn a brand message from a piece of information that can be analyzed and dismissed into a piece of music that can be internalized and remembered. It's a direct download to your long-term memory. The ad itself might only be 15 seconds long, but the jingle? The jingle can last forever. But sound is only half the battle. This whole time we've been talking about the audio hooks that grab your ears. But we live in a visual world. What grabs your eyes? How do you create a character, a conflict, and a resolution all in the time it takes to tie your shoes? How do you make someone feel a complete story in a handful of seconds? That's where the real magic of the 15-second spot lies. It's not just about what you hear, it's about the miniature movie you see. And the director of that miniature movie is your own brain, working in perfect, unspoken partnership with the advertiser. They provide the keyframes, the visual breadcrumbs, and your mind does the heavy lifting of connecting the dots, filling in the backstory, and writing the ending. It's a masterful act of cognitive co-creation, and it's built on a foundation of visual language that we all understand instinctively. Think of it as visual shorthand. Advertisers don't have time to tell you their product is for wholesome, all-American families. So instead, they show you a golden retriever catching a frisbee in a sun-drenched backyard. They don't have time to explain that their truck is rugged, dependable, and built for hard work. So they show you that truck, covered in a respectable layer of mud, parked in front of a half-built house against a mountain range. These aren't just images, they are compressed files of meaning. A single shot of a gleaming chrome and steel kitchen doesn't just say stovetop, it screams success, gourmet. You've made it. A quick cut to a group of diverse, laughing friends clinking beer bottles on a rooftop at sunset isn't about the beer. It's about belonging, youth, and urban adventure. They are tapping into a shared cultural library of symbols. We see the golden retriever and our brain instantly unpacks the concepts. Family, loyalty, suburban comfort, safety. We see the muddy truck and we think strength, reliability, the American spirit of building something with your own two hands. The advertiser didn't have to say a single word of that. They just showed you a picture, and your brain told you the rest of the story. This is the absolute genius of the visual-first approach. It bypasses our cynical, ad-blocking conscious mind and speaks directly to the part of our brain that thinks in pictures and feelings. But it gets even more structured than that. The most effective visual ads often follow the oldest storytelling structure in human history, the 3-act play. But instead of taking 2 hours, it takes about 3 seconds. Let's call it the micro-arc. Act 1, the problem. This is the setup, the moment of relatable pain. It's the shot of someone wincing in pain from a headache. It's the spaghetti sauce splashing onto a pristine white shirt. It's the kid who's bored on a rainy day. It's a single clear image of a common frustration. You see it, you recognize it, you feel a flicker of empathy. The hook is set. Act 2, the solution. This is the confrontation, the turning point. In a 15-second ad, this is lightning fast. It's the hero shot of the product itself. The 2 tablets dropping into a glass of water. The stain remover pen being applied directly to the spot. The video game console being switched on. This is the moment the brand swoops in. The cavalry arriving over the hill. It's clean, direct, and unambiguous. I am the answer to the problem you just saw. Act 3, the resolution. This is the payoff, the happy ending. The person with the headache is now smiling, laughing with their family. The white shirt is perfectly clean. The wearer looking confident and relieved. The bored kid is now wide-eyed with joy, controller in hand. Problem, solution, bliss. All in the blink of an eye. This micro-arc is so powerful because it's deeply satisfying to our narrative-hungry brains. We crave closure. We want to see problems solved. These ads present a mini-universe where life's little annoyances are instantly vanquished, and the result is always happiness. And what's the magical object that made it all happen? The product. The brand becomes inextricably linked not just with the solution, but with the feeling of relief and joy that comes with it. Now let's talk about the food. Because no one has mastered the art of the miniature movie better than the American fast food industry. You've seen it 1,000 times. The slow-motion shot of a hamburger being assembled. It's not just a burger. It's a blockbuster production. Each ingredient gets its own hero shot. The camera lovingly pans across the toasted sesame seed bun, lit like a Hollywood starlet. A single perfect leaf of lettuce, beaded with pristine droplets of water, falls gracefully onto the patty. The cheese doesn't just sit there. It melts in sensuous slow-motion rivers down the side of the flame-broiled beef. A single drop of ketchup might fall from a bottle, captured at 1,000 frames per second, hitting the burger with the dramatic impact of an asteroid. This isn't just advertising. It's a form of visual hypnosis. They are using every cinematic trick in the book, macro lenses, dramatic lighting, ultra-slow motion, to transform a 99-cent item into a priceless artifact of desire. They're not selling you food. They're selling you an experience. They are triggering a primal sensory reaction. You can almost taste it, smell it, feel the texture. Your logical brain knows it's a mass-produced sandwich, but your lizard brain, the part that responds to hunger and visual stimuli, is already convinced it's the most delicious thing it has ever seen. The miniature movie in a food ad isn't about a story. It's about creating an overwhelming, irresistible physical craving, right here, right now. And threaded through all of these visual techniques is the most powerful image of all, the human face. Even in a 3-second microstory, the ultimate payoff is almost always a reaction shot. A face filled with relief. A face crinkled in laughter. A face showing quiet satisfaction. A face showing wide-eyed wonder. We are biologically hardwired to read and respond to other human faces. Scientists talk about mirror neurons, brain cells that fire both when we perform an action and when we see someone else perform that same action. In a simplified sense, when we see a face on screen experiencing pure joy, a part of our brain experiences that joy too. That final shot of a happy person isn't just showing you the result of using the product. It's a command. It's the ad telling your brain, this is how you are supposed to feel. And for a brief moment you do. You feel the relief of the headache being gone. You feel the satisfaction of the clean shirt. You feel the joy of the delicious burger. The visual story implants not just an idea, but an emotion. It's a feeling that lingers long after the 15 seconds are up. A tiny emotional echo that gets stored away, filed under that brand's logo in the vast archive of your memory. The visual story is a Trojan horse, and the emotion is the payload. And it all happens without a single word needing to prove a thing. But the Trojan horse doesn't sneak in silently. It has a soundtrack. And that soundtrack is arguably more manipulative, more potent, and more deeply embedded in our subconscious than any visual ever could be. Sound is the invisible architecture of persuasion. While your eyes are busy processing the story, your ears are being fed a direct line of pure, unadulterated emotion. Think about it. You can close your eyes, but you can't close your ears. Sound is invasive. It bypasses the analytical part of your brain, the part that says, "Wait a minute, this is a commercial," and plugs directly into the limbic system, the ancient reptilian core that governs feeling, memory, and instinct. An image suggests an emotion. A sound is an emotion. This is why the most valuable real estate in advertising isn't the screen. It's the 3 to 5 seconds of audio that defines a brand. It's the sonic logo, the audio mnemonic. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That 5-note bong from Intel. Do 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 do. Doesn't mean anything logically. It's just a sequence of synthesized tones. But for decades it has meant innovation, reliability, the future. It's a Pavlovian bell for technology. You hear it, and your brain instantly summons the entire concept of a powerful computer, whether you want it to or not. Or what about the NBC chimes? 3 simple notes, GC. They've been around since the 1920s, first on radio, now on television. Those 3 notes have survived technological revolutions, cultural shifts, and entire generations, and they still mean one thing: you're watching NBC. The most successful sonic logos are so effective they don't even need the brand name. The Bida from McDonald's. You just sang it in your head, didn't you? That little melody, sung by Justin Timberlake, isn't just a jingle. It's a global anthem for fast food. It's happy, it's simple, and it resolves on a high, satisfying note, just like the feeling they want you to associate with their fries. These aren't accidents. They are meticulously engineered pieces of audio designed to be earworms. Fragments of melody so simple and sticky they burrow into your memory and set up camp for life. A visual logo has to be seen to be recognized. A sonic logo can reach you from the other room. It's an invisible brand ambassador, working even when you're not looking. Of course, the sonic logo is just the tip of the iceberg. The real battle for your heartstrings is fought with music. And in the world of 15-second ads, there are 2 primary weapons of choice: the classic, purpose-built jingle, and the carefully selected licensed pop song. The jingle is the brute force approach. It's the audio equivalent of a sledgehammer. Nationwide is on your side. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. I'm a big kid now. These aren't meant to be subtle. They are designed for one purpose and one purpose only: relentless, inescapable memorability. They often use simple, nursery rhyme-like melodies and heavy repetition of the brand name. You might find them annoying. You might hate them, but you will never forget them. The goal isn't to make you feel cool. It's to ensure that when you think insurance or toys, their brand is the first thing that pops into your head, set to a tune you can't shake. It's a brute force data transfer directly into your long-term memory. The licensed track, on the other hand, is the art of emotional transference. It's a much more sophisticated surgical strike. A brand will take a song that you already have a powerful emotional connection to, a song from your youth, a song that makes you feel rebellious or hopeful or nostalgic, and they will graft their product onto that feeling. Think of how many car commercials use an uplifting, anthemic indie rock song. They're not selling you a car. They're selling you the feeling of freedom, of driving down an open road with your favorite song blasting. The car is just the ticket to that feeling. Apple became the undisputed master of this. They didn't just sell computers and phones, they curated a lifestyle. By using songs from artists like Feist, the Ting Tings, or Cake, they told you, we're not a stuffy corporation. We're cool. We're creative. We listen to the same music you do. They borrowed the cultural capital of these artists and, in the process, made buying a laptop feel like an act of self-expression. The song does all the emotional heavy lifting. The brand just has to show up and attach its logo at the end. It's an emotional heist, and it's brilliant. But even beneath the music, there's another layer of sound that's working on you. It's the sound design, the Foley, the hyper-realistic, often exaggerated sounds of the product itself. When you see a commercial for a soda, you don't just see the can open. You hear that impossibly crisp pss, followed by the sharp, crackling fizz that sounds more refreshing than any real soda ever could. When you see an ad for a bag of chips, the crunch is amplified to a tectonic plate-shifting event. These sounds are engineered to trigger a sensory, almost primal response. It's auditory sleight of hand. They are creating a version of the product in your mind that is more perfect, more satisfying, and more desirable than the real thing. It's ASMR for capitalism, designed to make your mouth water and your fingers twitch towards your wallet. And then there's the human voice, the narration. The choice of a voiceover is as critical as casting the lead in a movie. Are they using the deep, authoritative, voice of God narrator? That's for brands that want to convey trust, stability, and expertise. Think financial institutions or luxury cars. Is it the warm, friendly girl next door voice? That's for products that want to feel approachable, familiar, and part of your everyday life, like cereal or laundry detergent. Is it a celebrity? Then they are borrowing that celebrity's persona. Using Matthew McConaughey doesn't just get you a famous voice. It gets you his entire vibe of laid-back, philosophical cool, which Lincoln then co-opts for its cars. The pacing, the tone, the very timbre of the voice is chosen to guide your emotional response to the words being spoken. But perhaps the most powerful and underutilized tool in the audio arsenal is its complete opposite, silence. In a world of constant noise, in a commercial break crammed with loud jingles and bombastic sound effects, nothing grabs your attention like a sudden, jarring moment of absolute quiet. It's a pattern interrupt. Your brain, accustomed to the barrage of sound, suddenly perks up and asks, "What just happened?" For that brief second, the advertiser has your complete, undivided attention. You lean in, you listen harder, and whatever sound comes next. A single piano note, a whispered brand name, a satisfying click lands with 10 times the impact. Silence creates a vacuum, and the brand's message rushes in to fill it. It's a moment of manufactured intimacy in a sea of noise. The visual tells the story, the music sets the mood, the sound effects trigger your senses, but the strategic use of audio, and the lack of it, is what ultimately seals the deal, turning a 15-second pitch into a resonant, memorable, and deeply felt experience. It's the invisible artist painting a feeling directly onto your consciousness. And when that feeling is painted over and over again, thousands of times across millions of screens, it stops being just a feeling. Solidifies. It becomes a memory, a shared reference, a piece of cultural furniture. This is the final and perhaps most potent layer of the 15-second art form. Its ability not just to sell a product, but to embed itself into the very fabric of society. To leave a permanent imprint. Think about it. The most successful 15-second campaigns don't just create a fleeting desire for a burger or a better insurance rate. They create characters we know, phrases we repeat, and aesthetics we associate with an entire era. They achieve a kind of cultural immortality, and they do it in bite-sized, endlessly repeatable chunks. Let's start with the most obvious Trojan horse, the mascot. A character like the Geico Gecko isn't just a lizard selling insurance. He's a recurring sitcom character whose show is broadcast in 15-second episodes, slipped between the content you actually chose to watch. For over 2 decades, he's been a consistent, charming, and slightly witty presence in our lives. We've seen him give TED Talks, get stuck in vending machines, and interact with a cavalcade of other characters. Each ad is a tiny self-contained narrative, a micro-story. The genius of this is that it bypasses our ad blocker brains. We're not watching an insurance commercial. We're watching the next installment of the Gecko's adventures. It's familiar. It's low stakes. Progressive achieved the same thing with Flo. She's the quirky, helpful, slightly too enthusiastic retail worker we all feel like we know. Her world, the superstore, is a consistent fictional universe. When a new ad pops up, our brains don't register threat, sales pitch incoming. They register, oh, it's Flo. I wonder what wacky situation she's in this time. This long-term character building turns a brand into a relationship. It's a slow burn built on thousands of tiny 15-second interactions. The brevity is key. A 15-second spot doesn't have time to be annoying. It's a quick, friendly wave from a familiar face. And over years, those waves build a powerful, almost subconscious sense of trust and familiarity that a one-off dramatic 60-second Super Bowl ad could never achieve. The mascot becomes a reliable cultural touchstone. But the cultural imprint isn't just visual. It's auditory. It's the slogan that escapes the confines of the commercial and enters the public lexicon. How many times have you heard someone say, "Can you hear me now?" Long after that Verizon campaign ended. The phrase perfectly captured a universal frustration with early mobile technology, and Verizon owned it. They didn't just sell a service, they sold the solution to a shared cultural annoyance, and they packaged it into a 5-word question that became a national catchphrase. Or think of McDonald's, the "I'm lovin' it" jingle, that "bida-ba-ba-ba-ba," is arguably one of the most recognizable pieces of audio on the planet. The 15-second format is the perfect delivery mechanism for this kind of audio weapon. It's a quick, sharp melodic injection. There's no time for complex musical arrangements or deep lyrics. It has to be pure, unadulterated earworm. It's designed to be a neural post-it note. You hear it, it sticks, and later that day when you're trying to decide what to eat for lunch, that little melody plays in the back of your mind, and suddenly a Big Mac sounds like a pretty good idea. These slogans and jingles are linguistic parasites. They find a host in our collective consciousness and they reproduce. Just do it. Got milk? Think different. These aren't just taglines. They are philosophies, questions, and commands condensed into their most potent, memorable forms. They become shorthands, used in conversations completely unrelated to the products they represent. And every single time they are used, a tiny subconscious brand deposit is made in our minds. That is the ultimate goal. Not just to be remembered, but to become part of the very language we use to think and communicate. Beyond characters and catchphrases, the most masterful 15-second ads achieve something even more profound. They become time capsules. They perfectly capture and define the spirit of a moment, the zeitgeist. They bottle a feeling, an aesthetic, a cultural mood so perfectly that seeing the ad years later feels like a form of time travel. The quintessential example is Apple's iPod campaign from the early 2000s. Those vibrant, single-color backgrounds. The black silhouettes of people dancing, lost in their own world. The iconic white earbuds and cables trailing behind them. In 15 seconds with no dialogue, those ads communicated everything. Freedom, individuality, the joy of a personal soundtrack, the coolness of urban life. They weren't just selling a device. They were selling a new way to experience the world. They defined the look and feel of a generation. Seeing one of those ads today doesn't just make you think of an old MP3 player, it transports you back to 2004. You can almost feel the cultural shift it represented. The move from shared media like CDs and radio to the hyper-personal world of digital playlists we now live in. That is an incredibly powerful emotional anchor for a brand to own. This isn't just a relic of the past. Think of the ads that emerged during 2020, the ones that swapped high-energy sales pitches for quiet, somber piano music and messages of, "We're in this together." They were reflecting a global mood of uncertainty and a newfound appreciation for connection. In 15 seconds, they could signal empathy and solidarity. 10 years from now, seeing one of those ads will instantly evoke the memory and feeling of that specific unprecedented time. The ad becomes more than an ad. It becomes a historical artifact. And this reveals the final crucial secret. The process isn't a one-way street. These ads don't just shape culture from on high. It's a dynamic feedback loop. Advertisers are some of the most obsessive cultural anthropologists on the planet. They are relentlessly scrolling, watching, and listening. They analyze memes, track linguistic trends, and monitor social sentiment with terrifying precision. They are looking for nascent cultural waves they can ride. The goal is to create a 15-second spot that feels less like an advertisement and more like a piece of native content. They want to create the ad that feels like a TikTok you'd actually share, a meme you'd actually laugh at, a sentiment you actually agree with. The ad needs to join the conversation, not interrupt it. When a brand gets this right, the result is magical. The ad gets shared organically. It becomes a meme in its own right. The audience does the work of distribution for them, not because they're being tricked, but because the ad genuinely resonated. It was funny or clever or beautiful, or it just got it. But this is a high-wire act. For every brand that successfully co-ops a meme, there are a dozen that fall flat, resulting in a cringeworthy, "How do you do, fellow kids?" moment that does more harm than good. The 15-second format is brutally unforgiving. There is zero room for error. If the joke doesn't land, if the cultural reference is slightly off, if the tone feels even a little bit forced, the audience is gone. They've already swiped, scrolled, or clicked away. So these tiny commercials are not just commercials. They are concentrated doses of culture. They are the myths we tell ourselves about who we are, what we want, and what we value, all distilled into the briefest possible format. They are meticulously crafted pieces of social DNA, replicating and mutating in the ecosystem of our shared media. They are the background radiation of modern life, subtly shaping our language, our aesthetics, and our collective memory, one 15-second burst at a time. And as technology continues its relentless march forward, the art and science of this cultural engineering is about to enter a terrifying and fascinating new era. The era we're entering is one where the commercial is no longer a broadcast, but a whisper, engineered for an audience of one. You. For decades, the goal was to find the perfect message for the masses. Now, the goal is to find the perfect message for your specific, individual, data-defined soul. The tools are no longer just focus groups and demographic charts. They are machine learning models and generative artificial intelligence, sifting through petabytes of your personal information, your clicks, your likes, your searches, the speed at which you scroll past a certain image, the locations you frequent, the very words you type into your messages. Imagine an advertisement that is born the moment it is served to you. It's not pre-recorded. An AI analyzes your profile in a microsecond. It knows you're a 34-year-old male, you recently searched for hiking boots, you listen to a lot of 90s alternative rock, and your political leanings are center-left. It also knows, based on your social media sentiment analysis, that you've been feeling a bit stressed lately. So the ad it generates for you isn't for a specific car. It's a 15-second clip of a vehicle that looks vaguely like one you bookmarked last month, driving down a winding mountain road that looks uncannily like a national park you visited 2 years ago. The driver, a CGI human synthesized to have features you subconsciously find trustworthy, has a faint, reassuring smile. And the music? It's not a licensed Pearl Jam song, which would be expensive. It's a piece of royalty-free music, generated on the fly by another AI, to sound exactly like the chord progressions and melodic structures that trigger a nostalgic, calming response in your brain. The ad doesn't have a slogan. It just has a quiet, final message on the screen. Time to get away. This is not science fiction. The components for this technology exist right now. This is the fascinating part. It's the ultimate fulfillment of the advertiser's dream. A message so perfectly resonant, so deeply personal, that it ceases to feel like an advertisement at all. It feels like a solution, an answer, a friendly suggestion from the universe itself. It's persuasion perfected, a seamless integration of commerce into the fabric of your personal reality. The friction of the sales pitch is gone. There is only a gentle, algorithmically guided nudge in the direction you were already, unknowingly programmed to want to go. But this is also where the terror begins to creep in. What happens to our concept of choice in a world like this? The classic ad, for all its manipulation, was a blunt instrument. You saw the ad for the Big Mac you knew you were being sold to, and you could engage your critical faculties to say, "No, I don't want that." But when the message is a bespoke piece of art, designed to bypass your conscious mind and interface directly with your emotional and psychological vulnerabilities, where is the line? If an AI knows your precise insecurity about your career and can generate a 15-second ad for an online course featuring a synthetic person who looks like a more successful version of you, promising the exact validation you crave, is your decision to click Enroll Now truly your own? This goes beyond just buying things. It fundamentally alters our shared culture. The Super Bowl commercial has been, for half a century, one of the last great American campfires. Tens of millions of people from every walk of life see the same ad at the same time. We talk about it the next day. The Budweiser frogs, the What's Up Guys, Apple's 1984. They became part of the collective conversation, cultural artifacts that we all owned a piece of. But in the coming era of hyper-personalization, that campfire is extinguished. During the Super Bowl of 2035, you might see that calming ad for the mountain drive. Your neighbor, who the algorithm has pegged as an aspiring social climber, will see an ad for the exact same car. But this time it's speeding through a neon-drenched metropolis, filled with glamorous people, set to a pulsating electronic beat. We will watch the same game, but we will inhabit different commercial realities, each one meticulously crafted to reinforce our existing biases, desires, and anxieties. We lose a common language. We lose a shared experience. Society itself begins to fragment into billions of individual markets, each person living in a media bubble so thick and so perfectly reflective, they may not even know it's there. So is this it? Is the future of persuasion just a cold, calculated, automated process? An endless feedback loop of data and response, where human creativity is rendered obsolete, replaced by the brutal efficiency of the algorithm? Maybe, but maybe not. There is a ghost in the machine that the algorithms may never capture. It's the beautiful, messy, unpredictable chaos of genuine human creativity. An AI can be trained on every successful commercial ever made. It can identify the patterns, the structures, the emotional triggers. But can it have a truly stupid, brilliant idea in the shower? Can an algorithm invent? Where's the beef? A line so absurd, so out of left field, that it breaks through the noise precisely because it makes no logical sense? Can a machine devoid of lived experience, oppression, and hope Conceive of the defiant, rebellious spirit of Apple's 1984? True genius, the kind that creates cultural moments that last for decades, often comes from breaking the rules, not from perfectly optimizing them. It comes from happy accidents, from misunderstood directions, from a flash of insight that defies data. Our desire for authenticity, for a real human connection, might be the one thing that can't be synthesized. We may eventually grow tired of the perfectly tailored whispers and begin to crave the flawed, funny, and sometimes foolish roar of a genuine human voice. And that is where you, the viewer, come in. The purpose of this entire journey, from the first jingle to the final personalized ad, has been to give you a new kind of literacy. The battle for your attention is also a battle for your consciousness. And your greatest defense is awareness. The challenge is no longer simply to recognize when you're being sold a product. The new challenge is to recognize when you're being sold a reality. When an ad appears on your screen, the critical question is no longer just, what are they trying to sell me? It's, why was this specific ad with this specific tone, these specific colors, and this specific message created and delivered to me at this specific moment? What data points did I generate that led to its creation? What emotional state is it trying to induce in me? By asking these questions, you are no longer a passive target. You become an active observer, a decoder of the matrix that is being built around you. You reclaim a measure of your own autonomy. The art of the 15-second commercial was never really about the 15 seconds. It was about mastering the art of compression, how to distill a complex idea, a feeling, a universe of meaning, into a fleeting moment. It was a mirror held up to American society, reflecting our dreams, our anxieties, and our deepest desires back at us in a polished, purchasable form. As we move into this new frontier, that mirror is turning into a window, one that looks directly into our individual souls. The art and the science of the ad will continue to evolve, becoming more potent, more invisible, and more deeply integrated into our lives than we can possibly imagine. But through it all, one truth will remain. In the relentless, high-stakes game of capturing your attention, the most important product they are selling is the version of you that buys.